Hi, it's Steve Wilkenhoff here, and in this video lesson I want to talk to you about how to go about setting the exact targets that you need to drive you towards the financial results you want. So let's start by thinking about how your financial results are actually created. And they're created by the combination of how many customers you have, how often they buy from you, and how much you make in your business each time they buy from you. So let's look at an example of how that works. Here's creatively named two businesses, Business 1 and Business 2. You can see Business 1 has 500 customers and they buy once a year, or a frequency of 1.0. And the average gross profit that business makes each time they buy is $350. So at the bottom there's a total gross profit of $175,000. Now Business 2, less customers, only 370, but they buy 6 times a year or every 2 months. However, the business makes a lot less money every time they buy, only $79. But at the end of it, they still have a gross profit of pretty much exactly $175,000. So you can see, you could look at the financial statement for these two businesses and see a gross profit of $175,000, but they are anything but similar businesses. So you need to look at your customers, how many you have, how often they buy, and how much you make each time they buy from you. So improving your financial results then really isn't magic now that you know that. The way to do it is simply get more customers, or sell more often to the customers you have, or increase how much you make each time a customer buys from you. Really, those are the only three things. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other smaller nuances, but those three big rocks are going to let you increase your financial results to pretty much anything you want them to be. So let's talk about getting more customers. A lot of business owners jump right here when they talk about increasing their financial results. Well, I need to increase sales, so I have to go out and get more customers. The problem with that is it's usually the most expensive way to grow your business, and it strains your infrastructure because you're adding more volume and more transaction. You, your staff, your equipment, everything you have needs to deal with this extra volume of customers. Now, the other thing you can do is sell to your existing customers more often. Now, this is a lot less expensive than getting new customers, but it's still linear, meaning if you have 100 customers and you get them to come back twice as often, you've still doubled the volume of transactions that you do. However, you do have the benefit of being able to invite only customers you like back to do business with you more often. Whereas a new customer, when you go and get them, you usually don't know if they're going to be a good or bad customer until it's too late or until they're inside your door. Now, the third way that we looked at was increasing the average gross profit, or how much you make every time someone does business with you. And I'm amazed how many times this one is practically ignored by business owners. But I have to tell you, it's the absolute best way to increase your financial results and improve your financial results. Hands down. It's the easiest in most cases. It gives you the most leverage and the highest increase in value and in the financial results you get for the return of your time and effort. So when it comes to you and figuring out how you're going to create better financial results, you need to figure out what the best way is for you and your business. And that depends on the specific characteristics of your business. For example, if you're a new business, despite everything I just said about going out and getting new customers being difficult, if you're a brand new business, you just need new customers. So you have no choice. You need to go out and acquire them. And you can't get customers to come back more often if you haven't got customers in the first place. Compare that to a business that's been around for several years and has a lot of customers it's done business with over the years. And it maybe hasn't been very active or very proactive about inviting those customers back, or even about trying to retain them, and has always just been filling its pipeline full of new customers and letting old ones just fall out the back and never do business again. Now, that business has different options available to it to increase the financial results. Or maybe you're in a business where you just haven't increased your prices for 2 or 3 or 4 years. Don't laugh. If that's you, you're in good company, because I hear it from so many business owners where they just don't regularly increase their prices. So simply by doing that, and it's about time if you haven't raised them for a few years. In fact, if you haven't raised them within a year, it's time to raise them again. That's going to automatically increase how much you make every time a customer buys from you. So again, the best way for you and your business depends on the specific characteristics of your business. So let's talk about increasing prices, because people will often resist it. Like I said, if you haven't done it in at least a year, you need to do it. And I'll tell you one thing about increasing your prices. You never have to be scared if you remember this formula. The value a customer receives from you is the mental math they do when they figure out the benefits they're getting from dealing with you and from buying your product or buying your service, and they compare it to the price. So as business owners, we'll often focus on price and think, well, we really can't raise our price very much. And that's true if you're only focusing on price. But instead, challenge yourself to think about the benefits you offer your customers and that your products and services offer them. And if you want to increase your prices, find ways to increase the benefits from your customer's point of view. And that'll really help you. The other way you can increase how much you make every time a customer buys from you is simply offer other products and services at the time of sale. This one is easy, it's powerful, and it's completely free. It's practically a no-brainer to do, but yet you'd be amazed how many times a lot of business owners don't try to sell or even offer the other products and services that they could sell to their customers. They simply let the customer choose the product they want and assume that customer would buy more if they wanted. But in many cases, your customer doesn't know what else you could sell them, and you owe it to them to tell them. You owe it to them because it'll give them a better experience with you, and you owe it to yourself because it's going to help you make more money, better financial result, and start to live your dream lifestyle. And then the third thing, get your customers to come back more often. And this is always better than trying to get new customers, because you can look at who's dealt with you in the past, and you can weed out the ones that you really don't want to have as customers anymore, and then you go to the good ones, the jewel box ones, the ones you enjoyed, who just don't do business with you right now, and invite them back. It really is that simple in a lot of cases.